You start developing this obsession. You can't get her out of your head. She's all you think about. Her birthday comes up. Maybe if I just send her the right words to wish her a happy birthday, like she'll all of a sudden something will click in her head. Like, damn, I missed this guy. He's been chasing me this whole time, and I finally come to my senses. Like, it doesn't work that way. Y'all know it doesn't work that way, but you keep telling yourselves, if I just try harder, you're going to keep doing it. Okay. But this obsession, it's more about ego than anything. It's not love. It's not that she's your soulmate. It's your ego that just can't handle the rejection, and you've got to try to get her back. That's usually a big part of it. Another big part of it is that when you go out in the dating circuit and you don't have the skills in the modern era, and it's a grind, and you go out there and dating apps suck, and you start getting discouraged, well, getting your ex back starts looking like a low-hanging fruit, right? It's way easier to try to fix this than it is to try to find something better, And so you also have that going on too, but it really does turn into an obsession because you're struggling out here on the dating circuit and you're like, God, why did I mess up so bad with this one? Why can't I go back to this one? Right. And what ends up happening is you start chasing this validation, right? You want it. It's almost like this dopamine hit. If she responds to you at all, you're like, oh, the love of my life, she replied to me, right? And it's more about the validation, not necessarily her at all, or even her getting her back. But you won't believe it. Like I'm explaining it to you right now. Like there's guys I know watching this going, no, man, no, not me. I'm different, bro. I'm different. I'm the one that's going to succeed here. I'm going to get her back, right? I'm going to get her back. And that's really where we're got this cognitive dissonance. Okay. And guys tend to think literally, right? Like if I get her back, I'm valuable again. If this, then why? If I get her back, then I'll be valuable again. And then I can move on with my life and everything will be back to normal. Okay. It's a dangerous mind trap because you can't stop obsessing over it, because you make this end state of getting her back like your only goal. And then when it doesn't happen because you're trying too hard and you're pushing her away even more, the more you try, the more stuck you get, right? And the more obsessed you get. It ends up being this one giant mind F. We can't even say it yet. We're not at the 8-minute mark. And you have this fix-it fantasy in your head, right? Constant rumination on what went wrong. What could I do better? If I just said the right thing, I can get her back, right? If I just change this one thing about me, and all you do is think about what you could have done better in that relationship. Okay. And then a lot of you guys have this obsessive consumption of get her ex back content, right? And there's tons of it out there. You want to know why there's tons of it out there? Is because this is what draws guys into the space. There's different things that draws guys into the space. A lot of it is like if guys are really burned from a divorce, if you have a whole bunch of videos about how women suck and divorce great fantasies and like how awful divorce is, you draw in all the haters, right? All these guys that are bitter and pissed off and they just want to commiserate. You have guys that are in dead bedroom situations, right? They've been married for 30 years, which is wonderful, right? Hey, I've been married for 30 years, bro, but their wife hasn't banged them in 9. Those guys are out looking for content like, how do I get my wife to want to bang me again? Okay. And then there's guys who are like, how do I get my ex back? Right? I will help you fix your dead bedroom situation. Okay. I'm not going to give you rage bait, hate women, divorces suck, great fantasy prawn. I'm not going to do that. All right. I will show you if you come here because you're in a divorce situation or you're in a breakup or whatever, I'm going to show you why getting your ex back's a terrible idea and how to move on. So you never have to deal with this again. Okay. That's what I'll do. But you have this fix it fantasy, right? Constant rumination, what went wrong? And you guys start just obsessing over this content. You guys watch, Corey Wayne, a big pull into the Corey Wayne space is he's got 7 steps to get your ex back, right? And almost everybody follows that playbook to get your ex back because it's a proven method. I know plenty of guys who have followed Corey's, 7 steps. In fact, I added Corey's 7 steps to my book, right? Because the way my book is laid out, if you guys didn't know, chapter 1 is about why getting your ex back is a terrible idea, right? And chapter 2 explains how to get your ex back and how you're not going to want her back, right? And that's sort of what we're talking about today. It's all about how obsession or rejection breeds obsession. And okay, you're going to follow these steps, but you're going to find out that it's the same story and it's going to be the same ending, bro. Okay. It's not, you don't pick up the book and then all of a sudden the book changes. It's the same book. Okay. My good friend, Benny Lichtenwalner, he's a breakup coach, and that's what he specializes in, helping you get your ex back. You guys, if you guys are found my content at all about because of like no contact, videos on TikTok or whatever, like you're probably already following my friend Benny, right? He's one of my 3% brothers, but you guys like follow that kind of content and you can't get her out of your head. You stay stuck. And I have a guy that we'll talk about here in a little bit. Like some of you guys stay stuck for years pining over your ex. Temporary wins don't solve permanent issues, right? So even if you get her back, and I see this all the time, I've been doing this for a long time now. Even if you get her back, your old patterns start to resurface. And the same things happen with guys who, read this kind of content to find new women, right? They'll study this stuff just long enough to get a girlfriend. Guys in dead bedroom situations will study this stuff just long enough to start seeing results. And then they fall back on old programming. They stop doing the work and they fall back on old programming and they start getting the same results, right? So the same thing happens when guys come to space and they're looking for all these tips and tricks to get an ex back. They might even get her back, right? But they are only doing this stuff long enough to get her back, and then they stop doing the stuff. Old patterns resurface, old fights rehash. One big problem when you do get an ex back is she's seen all your nonsense, right? You just being around her more is going to remind her a lot of why she broke up with you in the first place, especially if you don't actually fix the things that caused the breakup in the first place, right? And you fall back on all those old patterns. She's going to be like, oh yeah, that's right. That's right. That's why I dumped this guy. And then she's going to dump you again, bro. And then you're going to be in this cycle of trying to get her back and back with her, dumped again, back with her, dumped again. How many of you guys have been in that place where you've been in an on again, off again relationship with some chick because you can't get past her? How many? Drop something in the chat if that's ever happened to you. Okay. Why men often get dumped again later? They never actually do the work on themselves. All the self-improvement ends up being one big facade, right? It's not actual doing the work, reprogramming your subconscious, reprogramming your paradigms. There's a reason why I wrote this book, okay? Psychology Paradigm is all about rewiring your mind so that this is a part of who you are, okay? But most of you guys out there are just reading these books and reading this content for surface level changes that aren't actually you. And women can sniff this out. Like women aren't stupid. They sniff this stuff out. Okay. So men often get dumped again when they do get their ex back because they never actually fix themselves. Right. And she starts sniffing out the real you again. And the real you is a guy that she dumps. Okay. Now you might be thinking, okay, so obsession is bad, but letting go feels impossible. You can't force yourself to just stop caring. I get it. So how do you actually break free when every part of you is addicted to the chase? Well, stick around because that's what we're heading into next, guys. But before we get into that, do follow me on social media. The links are in the description. I'm on all the good platforms. If you guys are trying to get your ex back, fine. I'll show you how to do it. Get my free ebook. Fine. Here's how you get her back. All right. The link's in the description. This will walk you through the process of getting your ex back. But at the same time, it explains why it's a terrible effing idea. All right. Now, this ebook is super popular. It's actually more popular than my other free ebook for guys in dead bedroom situations. The ebook I have on She's Made You Weak, right? This one is just people are downloading it like hotcakes. So like, okay, I mean, he's going to tell me how to get her back. Like, bro, that's not the point. It's not the point, but fine. Get the ebook, all right? But the book I really want you to read, guys, the one that you know in your heart of hearts, you have to move on, but you just can't stop thinking about her. That's why I wrote Forget That Bitch, a red pill guide to breakups. You can pre-order on Kindle now. Okay. The link's down in the description. If you go, well, the link's not down in the description for Forget That Bitch, but the other three books are, but if you go to books.comeonmanpod.com, that'll take you to my authors page. You can find it there, or just search on Amazon for Forget That Bitch. You can pre-order it on Kindle now. Otherwise, it comes out June 6th. And I'm working on the audiobook now too. So I'm trying to line that up where the audiobook comes out at the same time, but we'll see how that goes. It doesn't always work that way. In the meantime, let me play a commercial. Since we were talking about rewiring your mindset, Let me play a commercial for Psychology Paradigm, my second book, because that will help you in this process, and it's available right now on Amazon and Audible. Have you ever felt like something's holding you back in your relationships? Like you're always on the back foot, struggling to connect with women? You're not. Many men are taught to be weak, to defer, to play small around by their upbringing, by society, by the very world that shaped them. But what if you could break free from the invisible chains that have held you back? What if you could rewrite the script? Reprogram the paradigm that's been running your life. This is your chance to step into the man you were always meant to be. In the Essential Skills of a Masculine Presence, Psychology Paradigm by Paul Bauer, the first book in R.P. Thor's groundbreaking series, you'll learn how to understand and transform the paradigms that have shaped your life. You'll discover how to develop a dominant masculine presence, one that commands respect, inspires trust, and brings fulfillment to your relationships. Don't wait for life to change on its own. Take control. Order your copy of The Essential Skills of a Masculine Presence, Psychology Paradigm now on Amazon. Available in hardcover, paperback, or on Kindle. This is more than a book. It's your roadmap to a life of purpose, strength, and success. Make the decision today. Reprogram your life and step into the man you were meant to be. Step into the man you were meant to be. Let me grab a link for Forget That Bitch. If you guys, let me drop that in the chat here. Forget That Bitch, the Red Pill Guide to Breakups. You can pre-order that now on Kindle edition. Getting a lot of good responses on social media. People like the name of that one too. All right. We got a whole bunch of people in the chat today. We've got Phil's in the house. He says, hoorah. Nurse Chick, she says, good morning, gentlemen. You know what day it is. Nurse Chick knows exactly what day it is.
So naughty.
She's so bad.
I'm gonna come.
She knows it. Let's see. Brother Ray's in the house from Beer Club. Omega's in the house. Paul fucking Bauer. Oh my God. CW's in the house. What's good, Nurse? Jensen, Nurse Chick. Alex Patino. Hey, what's that, you British singer? And then Dottie says, I got back with an ex-boyfriend who broke up with me. What a disaster. We ended up getting engaged and married. I think back often about how I knew when we broke up the first time, all I needed to know. So Dottie, you guys dated, and then you guys broke up, and then you guys got back together, and then you actually married him the second time. Is that right? Man, I am like all flushed because I'm like yelling here. Okay, there we go. Man, let's talk about the illusion of control, guys. If I just follow every step perfectly, she'll come back, right? Right? Guys, if you get my free ebook, if you guys get my free ebook, fine, here's how you get her back. You just follow it step by step, okay? There's 7 steps, there's 7 principles to get your ex back. If you just get the ebook, just follow that step by step, she'll come back. Actually, this will work. Like it's a proven method. She probably will come back, okay? But this mindset really destroys your confidence and wastes years of your time. It really does. Because sometimes, right, one of the biggest questions I see, especially if I find myself on one of my friend Benny's videos, is usually like one of the number one questions people drop in those chats, right, on how to get an ex back is, how long will this take, right? Okay, so if I follow these steps, how long does it take, right? Sometimes it takes years. It takes years for them to go through a rebound relationship, right? They get into a relationship, they're with this rebound person for sometimes 2 or 3 years, right? And that whole time, you're not moving on. You're just waiting for her to come back, and you keep checking her socials and liking her posts and just letting her know you're in the background for when this guy screws up. That is nice guy sneaky fucker method. That is nice guy sneaky fucker method of getting chicks back, okay? But it destroys your confidence and wastes years because you're not actually doing anything and you're not getting her back. And the more she ignores you, the more frustrated you get. You see? And this emotional dependency, there's emotional dependency and identity loss here, right? So losing her for a lot of guys means losing their identity, right? Because they put so much emotional investment into the relationship. They made their relationship their world and they identify with this relationship. And now that that's gone, they don't know who they are anymore. And they have this existential dread in their mind, right? They can't get past it. They were like, she was my soulmate, right? This is why a lot of guys zero out, right? They zero out and they unalive themselves after a breakup, is because they put so much identity into the relationship.
New episodes every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Subscribe now.